Hello, today I want to talk about the word whiz. When we ask you to be a word whiz, we are going to be asking you to find two words in your assigned reading, write the definition, the sentence you found it in, and then a synonym and antonym of that word. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to find words out of this book. It's called Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. As I'm reading through the assigned reading for today, I came across a sentence. It says, I've seen dozens of doctors in my life who all try to analyze me and figure me out. The word I want to pull out today is the word analyze. So I'm going to add that word here. I'm going to spell it just like I saw it in the text. And then I'm going to write the sentence where I found that word. So I'm just going to copy that from my book here. It says, I've seen dozens of doctors in my life who all try to analyze and figure me out. Here, I spelled my word wrong. Here we go. Analyze. Okay, so that's the first thing I would do is I would fill out that sentence. Now, I want to look up the definition. So, you can do this a couple different ways. What I found the easiest thing to do is to go into Google and search the word. Now, when you're searching the word, if you just write in analyze, you might not get the definition you want. So I'm going to write in analyze, and then I'm going to put the word definition after it. And that's going to get me a definition, hopefully, of the word. So let's see. I'm going to move myself over here so we can see. It says analyze, to examine methodically. That's a big word. To examine, I'm going to skip that, and in detail, the constitution of a structure, typically for the purposes of explanation and interpretation. So pretty much it means to examine it in detail, right? I'm going to write that definition here. So let's go back. The definition, to examine, or we could say, or look at something in detail. If you're writing the definition, I would highly encourage you, don't just copy what the definition says online. If it doesn't make sense for you, another thing that you could do is you could write definition, and then you could add in for kids. That might get you a little bit more of a simple. Let's see. To examine something to find out what it is or what makes it work. That would also be a wonderful explanation, and it might be a little easier to understand. Really look at the definition. If you don't understand the definition, see if you can find one that's a little more simple. So now that I've found the definition, I'm going to be looking for those synonyms and antonyms. Now remember, a synonym is a word that means the same type of thing, and an antonym is a word that means the opposite type of thing. I'm going to refer back to this sentence quickly. Do you guys notice that there might be a synonym in the sentence itself? I've seen dozens of doctors in my life who all try to analyze and figure me out. It seems to me that word, like figure out, would be a good synonym for the word analyze. Now, not always will your sentence have cool clues or context clues like that. You might also be able to find those in your definition here. So if I look down here, it says similar. These are words that are similar or the same or a synonym of the word analyze, examine, inspect, survey, scan, study, scrutinize. I could write any of those. I would really encourage you, find at least, if you can, find two synonyms. So figure out, and I'm going to put examine. Now, finding antonyms are a little bit harder. It doesn't have those right here, but I wonder if I click on this, let's see if it takes me a little bit further. it has similars, I'm going to actually put right in my search bar, analyze antonym. Oh, antonyms and synonyms. So the opposite of analyzing, let's see if we can find that. So notice as the word whiz, you are kind of digging deeply into that word and doing your best to find words, synonyms and antonyms, definitions that help you understand what that word means. So it looks like I have a couple synonyms and antonyms here. Synthesize and synthesize, that's kind of hard. To synthesize, that's not a helpful website. Oftentimes it's going to be that you might have to look through. Hey, let's look here. Ooh, what's the, ooh, look at this. The opposite antonym of analyze, to neglect, to miss, avoid, omit, misunderstand. Wow, those are all good words, and I know what those words mean. I'm going to use this word ignore because ignore is a familiar word for me. So I'm going to say the antonym or the opposite of analyze is going to be to ignore something. And I also am going to use the word omit because that's one of my vocabulary words. So now it's taken me a little bit of time. I've had to go a little bit deeper, a little bit further into the text to figure out my definitions, my synonyms, and antonyms. So there's just a quick example of what it looks like to be that word whiz, how to find out the definition, the synonym, and the antonym. Let's read that sentence one more time before we finish up. I've seen dozens of doctors in my life who all try to analyze and figure me out. Examine makes sense. The opposite would be to ignore. Hope that helps remind you how to be a great word whiz. Enjoy!